Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tacho here, and we're back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. Okay, so today, Fay Pass owners, we got our copy of Resplendent Marth, so let's talk about this guy. And first things first, I guess we can talk about his art. So they went with a cutesy type of art style here. I'm not really sure why they did that. I guess it kind of suits Marth a little bit. He's definitely one of the more vanilla lords in the series. Like, he didn't really do anything all that stand out. He's basically like your run-of-the-mill hero. And that's exactly why they went with the Asker attire for him. I think that does suit him. But other than that, like, his attack art and his regular art, I think just make him look a little too cute and unintimidating. Whereas the original artwork definitely looked like Marth could be a threat if he wanted to be. Like, he was ready to throw down at any second. So this is one of the first times where I actually think I'm going to keep the original artwork as opposed to switching over to the Resplendent art. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of Marth's new artwork, and whether you like the old one more or the new one more. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some builds for him. So first up, his base kit. He's got Falchion, Pivot, Escape Route 3, and Spur Speed 3. Now, Escape Route is actually not too shabby. The only problem is it doesn't really play nice with Falchion because, of course, Falchion has a built-in renewal effect. So it's all but useless on Marth, and you're probably just going to scrap it anyway. And as far as Falchion goes, of course it's got effective against dragons and that renewal effect. But all of the Falchion units ended up getting their own unique refines based on which game they came from. And Marth's refine is going to grant all stats +2 to any allies that are within 2 spaces of him. So it makes him a pretty solid support type unit. And the most comparable unit to him in the 4-star pool would be the Corrin M, because Yato's refine is pretty similar. The only difference is that with Yato, you actually have to have ally support to gain the support buffs. Whereas Marth doesn't need to do that. He's capable of giving the stat bonuses to anybody within 2 spaces. So it's definitely more generalized and more convenient. But if you want higher stat bonuses, then I guess Corrin M would be better for that. Either way, with the Resplendent bonus and +2 to all stats, Marth is going to overshadow that Corrin as a unit. And the additional stats actually help him out because it makes it easier for him to draw in any stat decreases from, let's say, chill skills or shrines that you may run into in Aether raids. So by running Marth as a support unit and having him draw in all of these chill skills from your main unit that you want to get the job done, it's definitely going to give more credence to Marth as a support. And recommended IVs, I'm going to have to say go for plus speed. It's his highest stat overall, and just being able to go for some double attacks and stop the foes from doing the same is definitely going to be the best way to go. And it also makes it more likely that he can take in the Bright Shrine or Chill Speed. And for the budget build on this Marth, we're going full-on support here. We're not really getting too much help in terms of combat from his weapon. Effective against dragons and renewal is really not holding up too well in today's meta. So you definitely want to stick to support with him. We have Reposition and Moonbow as the assistant special. Pretty bread and butter stuff. And for the A skill, I'm going to recommend Fury 3, because it provides the hard stat bonuses to pretty much everything there. But if you want to focus a little bit more on attack and speed, then Life and Death 3 is also an option. For the B, we're going with Defense and Res Link. It's a relatively easy link skill to get, and just being able to provide Defense and Res up 6 is going to be really helpful to whatever ally you have Marth supporting. But feel free to choose any combination of link skill that you want for whichever stats you'd prefer to go for. You can also opt for the chill skills in the B if you want, and that could make Marth a pretty decent debuff option if you have all of your stat bonuses covered by another unit on the team. And finally, in the C, we're going for Distant Guard or Close Guard, whichever one you think is best. Typically, Distant Guard is more useful in Aether raids where you're fighting a whole lot more ranged units, and Close Guard is a little better in arena modes and arena assault, because that's where you're going to fight mainly melee type opponents. But either one is going to work out just fine. And if you just want the stat bonuses regardless of the foe being a ranged unit or a melee type, you could just go for drive defense or drive res instead for a little bit more consistency there. And for a more unique option, you could also try infantry rush. You can get it from Brady, and it's basically going to provide heavy blade to any infantry allies that are within 2 spaces of Marth. So it could be a decent way to ramp specials if you want to go for that. But it's not quite as good as the breath ramp effect that you would get from Brave Lucina. So that's probably the reason why this skill is very underused. And finally, for our high investment build on Marth, we're going full on support here. Like I said, there's really no point in running this guy as a unit to do all the fighting, because he's basically getting no help from his weapon. It'd be something else if he could actually get his legendary alt's weapon, and you could get Exalted Falchion on him. I have no idea why, but for some reason Ephraim is the only unit in the game that's allowed to get his legendary variant's weapon. So it's definitely unfair. So many other units would benefit if they could get their legendary weapon, like Erica for example, and Hector even, and of course Marth as well. And I mean, even like Eliwood, despite him already having the super good Blazing Durandal, having Ardent Durandal on that guy and being able to run him as a support option, as well as this crazy player phase god, would still be pretty dope. So I have no idea what the deal is with that, but I would love it so much if we could get some legendary alt weapons on the base versions of the units. But regardless, this is pretty much the exact same build with higher budget skills. We have Rally, Attack, and Speed Plus, but feel free to pick whichever stat combo on the Rally Plus that you want. Ruptured Sky, of course, since it's the best 2-hit special you can go for. And in the rare event that you need this guy to fight, he's going to be able to presumably activate that in 1 round of combat thanks to his good speed. Fury 4 in the A, so you can just gain +4 to everything, and make it really easy for him to just absorb the chill skills and the Bright Shrine and Dark Shrine. But again, if you want to focus more on attack and speed, then Life and Death 4 is an option. Or if you want to focus on defense and res, then Fortress Defense and Res 3 is also an option. In the B, we're going for attack and speed ruse, but feel free to choose whichever combo of stats on a ruse skill that you want. Personally, I think attack and speed ruse is the best, because every unit is going to benefit from an attack and speed drop on the foe. Whereas when it comes to the defense and res combinations, you never really know. There's no guarantee that the unit you want to support is always going to be attacking res or attacking defense. But of course, these ruse skills are really good on any support unit. Otherwise, you could try out a double chill skill if you want, and then maybe even combo it with a chill in the Sacred Seal. You can also try Sudden Panic or even Pulse Tie, because Marth has a pretty solid HP stat, and he's going to be able to either inflict panic on the foes or help out against infantry pulse teams. So again, some more good supporty options that you could go for. And finally for the C, we're going for Joint Drive Attack, but really just pick your favorite when it comes to these joint drives. Speed and res are going to work out just fine as well. And the guard skills are still on the table, to be honest. Like, Distant Guard and Close Guard are just really good. So if you'd prefer to double up on those and have them in the C and the Seal, then by all means go for it. But otherwise, there's not really too much else to comment on. I guess you could try a feint skill as well for the Sacred Seal. Like maybe defense feints or res feints if you're going with attack and speed ruse. And you're going to get some nasty debuffs on the foes with that. So it could be worth it, but it's entirely your call. And that's basically it in terms of builds for Resplendent Marth. A little anticlimactic that he only has one playstyle that I would say is valid. I mean, you could run him to fight if you wanted, but his weapon is really not suited for that. And you're probably just better off building another sword unit. Like, the units nowadays are just so ridiculous that you could +10 Marth and have the Resplendent stat bonuses on him. And I bet you the next sword unit we get on the next upcoming banner is probably going to have, like, all stats +5 and null follow-up and -1 special trigger and like all these crazy effects that it's just completely pointless to build some of these earlier units and play them in a role that they're not really suited for. So it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. And it looks like our next Resplendent hero is going to be Lucina. Now, I have a lot to say about this. So, Lucina is actually my favorite female character in Fire Emblem. I loved her so much in Awakening, and she's basically my favorite character from that game. But what kind of travesty are they trying to sell us with this resplendent art here? I have no idea what's going on. Why is it baby Lucina of all things? I have no idea what they were trying to do with this. And honestly, I could make like an entire video just ranting about why I don't like this artwork. But obviously, I'm not going to do that. But they decided to go for the fairy attire with her. And I don't think it's a bad idea. Of course, Lucina has this thing for butterflies. Because when she's disguised as Marth, she has the butterfly mask. And there's a whole bunch of like official artwork with Lucina. And there's butterflies flying around her. So I don't think the outfit is a bad idea. But as for Lucina herself, like, why is she a kid? I don't get it. And her voice acting is still the adult Lucina. So her dialogue doesn't even fit the artwork. And it's just really weird. Like, why? Why? Like, I know in the story, all of the fairies like to play with the kids. So maybe if they were trying to say this is a dream Lucina and she was, like, in her child form playing with the fairies, then maybe that would have made sense. I still wouldn't like it, but at least at that point I'd have an explanation for it. But it's not even that, because we have the fairy Erica, and she's still an adult. So, like, I have no idea. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think about this. But I'm sure there's going to be a mass disdain for this artwork. So anyways, that's all for Resplendent Marth. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I didn't get a little too ranty talking about Lucina there. But I am a hardcore Lucina fan, and I am not satisfied with this. So that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching the video, and this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, everybody, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.